of the Communications Committee of Parliament. He's Honorable Sylvester Tete. He was actually at this particular press conference. Sly, you're welcome to Eyewitness News, and congratulations on your new job. It's the first time we are speaking to you since you became Minister for our sector.
Thank you very much, Omar Osanda.
How are you easing yourself into the new job?
Well, Omar Osanda, let me say good evening to your listeners this evening and to your good folks. It's been a while. This is what we've been doing for a very long time, even in Parliament as the Vice Chairman of the Communication and Information Committee of Parliament. We've been doing this for a while now. We are now at the position of policy promotion and, of course, policy for government and the country as a whole. So, yes, I'm learning into the new job. I have a new boss. We are working to ensure that we promote proper government information to the good people of our country.
Very well. Let's talk about the press conference today. So this will be the usual meet the press or the press briefings that you bring ministries to your place to come and do. And this one today was a turn of the Minister for Communication. But ahead of that, a lot of interest was generated around a contract that was given to a company that was going to provide us with 5G services. Investigative journalist Manasseh drew the attention of the public that the company that was given this contract had been created just a week prior, and that raises eyebrows around what the vehicle that was created was for and why we would settle on a company that is just 1 week old. What is the government's position on this matter?
Well, thank you once again, Marusanda. I think that the position of Manasseh Azuri and of subsequent commentary on this matter needs to be explained. It is not true that a company was promulgated or incorporated a week ago given such a contract to manage our 5G spectrum. That is not true. This is a special purpose vehicle, and government has taken a very proactive decision in view of how we manage our 2G, 3G, and 4G in time past. So government has taken a decision that we are not auctioning the 5G to any particular company. What we are going to do is to promote a special purpose vehicle where government and the active players in the industry will own it, so that it will promote fairness, equity, transparency, and fair competition for all the industry players. We auctioned our 4G since 2015. So now we've had only 15% penetration for 4G usage, and mainly in the city centers. So the rest of the country where we are promoting digitalization and inclusion has been left off the 4G space. So if you've done this for 9 years and you have attained only 15% inclusion penetration rate, then there's a problem. Now we are going for 5G. Are you going to auction it for the highest bidder or whoever qualifies to run it? The person picks it, play off everybody from the industry, yet we don't get the necessary benefit from the 5G. So government says, no, we are not going to auction it. We'll own part of it. All the industry players should own part of it. So this special purpose vehicle was put together by all the industry players, those who had experience with working with everybody, including the mobile network operators, to the extent that they will go onto the market where myself and you, if we are willing, we can invest and become co-shareholders of this particular special purpose vehicle. So for a special purpose vehicle, you don't need any years of experience to be able to manage. So people should get it. It is not a limited liability company of any sort that has been granted the opportunity to manage, but rather a special purpose vehicle with all the stakeholders as co-shareholders. And that what is going to do for us going forward by 2030, we want to have digital inclusion nationwide, where we are expecting to have about 90% penetration. So you can promote your business anywhere in this country. Other than the 4G that we auction, that for 9 years, we've had only 15% penetration. So that is the background to this whole thing we are talking about here.
So it was a consortium then that was deliberately created by government?
Yes. It's created by government with all the stakeholders. You're talking of KNET, you're talking of Ascent Digital, you are talking of MNOs, all of them come together to own shares in this. It promotes competition, fair competition, inclusion. We take on the whole country. Otherwise, we give it to one particular company, it decides how to run it, and it takes on businesses only in the city centers to the detriment of the countryside.
Okay. Now, how do you promote competition when you put all the competitors in one group, telling them to own one network together? How can they compete when they are sharing?
Omaru, the 5G spectrum is to promote. It's like a platform, okay, that everybody has an equal opportunity to perform their activities there, and they understand it better, okay? Because if I own 4G and I'm the sole who has the sole right to 4G operations, I decide where I go. But in this case, government is a shareholder. You, Omar Osanda, you are a shareholder. So you are not prohibited from undertaking your business to the best of your ability, as it were. We all own it. So nobody has monopoly over the spectrum.
Which vehicle in the consortium belongs to government? For which reason you and I own it? What is the government interest in there?
No, the government, it's a shares they have.
Yes, I know. So which list the companies for me again? You said KNet?
And I'm saying that government of Ghana, okay, the government of Ghana, in collaboration with Ascend Digital, KNet, Redseed, Nokia, and Tech Mahindra, these are people who put together a consortium. So if you want the details of it, I'm telling you, all these companies, including the MNOs, they are all shareholders. They've been invited to own shares so that nobody is played out of this space.
It's interesting you mentioned the MNOs, because I've seen elsewhere that the biggest of them, MTN, is not in this so-called consortium. And they are the ones who are more than ready, it appears, to give us this service, but they are not part of this group. Can you explain that?
So the point is that from the minister's briefing, all the MNOs have been invited and have been asked to participate, to the extent that, like I'm still talking to you, the company will be listed. If Omari, you have your money and you want to participate in the 5G, you can get on board. Tomorrow, if they want to come, there's a space for them. Everybody. So that we don't promote unfair competition. Somebody says, I want to own it all by myself, and I decide to do my business with it. Let us all own it. We want to have total penetration in this country by 2030. The experience of the 4G has taught us that, like other countries have done, they auction it, they take their money, and they go away. Government has the right to say, I want to auction my 5G. Get whichever money I'll get by a transactional advisor, whatever means, I get my money. The highest bidder who proposes to have the technical competence and the money, pay me my money and I walk off. We did that with the 4G. What has it benefited this country after 9 years? The experience has guided this government to say that, no, we want to all own it. Everybody should play a part in this so that nobody pays money to have monopoly over the 5G.
The company you mentioned that you said government is collaborating with is a private company, right? Who owns that particular company?
Which company are you referring to? The SPV?
Say that again.
The SPV?
No, there's another name you mentioned.
There's an SPV. I'm saying that all the companies here, there are a number of...
Yeah, I want you to repeat the list so that I'll show you which one I was going to talk about. It's not KNet, it's not Nokia. There's another company you mentioned.
Ascend Digital.
Good, that one. It's a private company and it's collaborating with government to be part of this vehicle. That's the understanding I'm getting. Is that correct?
Company. I've mentioned a number of companies, including your good stuff. If it's listed, you could
no, not that. No, don't worry about that. I'm talking about the ones that are currently on the paper. The Ascend Digital that you mentioned.
That is not the only company I've mentioned.
I know. But that's the only company that government has entered the consortium with as a collaborator, correct?
It is not the only company.
Which other company has government entered this consortium with?
The consortium is the government of Ghana in collaboration with Ascend Digital, KNet, Redis, Nokia, Tech Mahindra, and by all mobile network operators, MNOs in Ghana. So the opportunity is for everybody. It's not limited to Ascend Digital, no.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you for this clarification. I don't know if you have time, but I'll be grateful if you can indulge me, because I just want to hear from the person, the investigative journalist who first raised this issue. Right. I'll put these issues to him and ask him what he says. After that, I'll come back to you. So if you could kindly stay on the line for me. That's Honorable Sylvester Teta. He's MP and Deputy Minister for Information. Manasseh Azuri-Awini is joining us on the other line. Manasseh, so I just spoke to the Deputy Minister. He says the company you talk about may be 1 week old, but it's not a company in the sense of the word when we say a company that has just been hurriedly created. Rather, it's a consortium of companies where the government of Ghana is collaborating with a number of companies, including the mobile network operators, to do this because they want to promote healthy competition and also sharing of this particular 5G space. Would you say that your information was scanty when you put out what you put out, or you disagree with what he's saying with contrary facts?
Well, if you say it is a consortium of companies and the agreement or the contract is awarded to this company alone, and if you look at the registration document, the shareholders for this company are in there, and one does not see the consortium. What we may ask for is more information to prove that this is not going to only one person. And I'm saying this because we have a similar experience of, I don't know if you've heard about Smart InfraCo, that we are told was brought in to manage the fiber optic cable that was set up and to connect assemblies and MMDAs. And last year, I went through the Volta region up to Nkwanta to Dambai, where the cable is supposed to supply internet to the assemblies, and all of them were not connected. And I'm seeing another name with InfraCo. So the other one is Smart InfraCo, and this one is Next Generation InfraCo. And I don't see the connection or the link to these other companies that are coming on board. What I see is that this company has been given the deal and it is partnering with others to execute. And the question is, could we have opened it up and allowed many companies to also tell us their partners and who they would want to do business with?
Okay.
So if they're saying, okay. Sorry.
Have you seen the shareholding of this company, which we are now told is a consortium? Have you seen the shareholding? Are they not the shareholders as have been listed by the government through the deputy minister?
No, there are only two shareholders. This person with a Nigerian name and another shareholder, Legal Integrated Consulting Limited. And then the shareholder, which is a company, is actually also owned by the individual listed. The details are on my Facebook page, but I'm prepared to even forward it to you. There are only two shareholders for this company, and none of these other so-called consortium are listed as shareholders. So that is why I'm saying that the government may really need to convince us, because you're saying you are giving it to one company and it's the sole service provider or distributor of that 5G network, and you are telling us that, oh, it is a consortium of companies. But when you look at the shareholding and the ownership, you see only one individual and then another company, and the directors are only two, same individual and another one with a surname, I think Awuno or so.
Okay.
So I want to see a real justification on paper, because all the communication, even to the NCA and the licensing, everything is directed to this company whose shareholders are known. And so if they are now mentioning many others, the stories I have read from some publications outside of Ghana indicates that this company got a contract and it is partnering with others to deliver. But if the government is saying that it's a consortium, I'm yet to see any documentation that points to the fact that others are on board and they are part owners of this Next Generation InfraCo Limited.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
That's Manasseh Azuri-Awene. Honorable Sly, so he says his digging shows that there were only two directors or shareholders of this company. He mentions, he says one person with a Nigerian name and another group he refers to as Legal Integration. Is that something that you can confirm, or if you will not, what are the facts about the shareholding of this consortium?
I'm surprised. I don't know where he's reading from, what information he has. I don't want to take away anything from Manasseh, but the point I'm making is that this is not an auction of the 5G. It's a special purpose vehicle put together by all these companies I've mentioned. I believe as the matter unfolds, further and better particulars will be provided. At this stage, I don't even know where he's quoting from, which company specifically he's referring to. I've told you from the beginning, there is no company that had been entered into contract except the SPV put together by government. And government itself is a shareholder in the SPV put together. So if he has any contrary information, he may have to share with us for us to cross-check. So for me, where I see what I've seen, obviously, this is a SPV put together with all these active players in the industry. Couldn't have been one person that has won a bid for the 5G. We have taken the firm position that we are not, government is not going to auction the 5G as we did auction the 4G, that after 9 years, we've had only 15% market penetration. That is so not good for business promotion in this country, where we want to attain 100% digital inclusion across the country.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's Honorable Deputy Minister for Information, Sylvester Tete. These Eyewitness News on 97.